Hello and welcome to another episode of Property Ponderings, the podcast where we dig deep into the world of property buying, selling and renovating, giving you some practical advice to help turn your property dreams into reality. My name's Craig Nichol from Nichol Buyer Advisory here in Melbourne, Australia. With over 15 years of property experience spanning town planning, sales, auctioneering, property investing and buyers advocacy, I've gained insights into many parts of the property world. Today we're going to unpack everything you need to know before listing your property on Air BnB or short-stay platforms. With short-term rentals becoming a popular way to generate income, understanding the latest laws, costs and management strategies is more important than ever. By the end of this podcast, you'll know how to navigate the latest and the newest regulations, maximise your income and make an informed decision about whether Airbnb is right for you. Let's dive in. Before you list your property on Airbnb, it's crucial to understand the local regulations and taxes that apply to short-term rentals. Here's what you need to know. Starting from January 2025, Victoria will impose a 7.5% levy on short-term rental bookings. This levy applies to platforms like Airbnb and Stays and aims to fund affordable housing initiatives through Homes Victoria. For instance, if your property generates $10,000 in annual bookings, you'll pay an additional $750 as part of this levy. And then the other thing is other council and zoning restrictions you have to be aware of. So some local councils, particularly in tourist-heavy areas, have limits on the number of nights a property can be rented out annually. Strata or body corporate rules may also restrict short-stay accommodations in apartment complexes. To ensure compliance, consult your local council and review strata regulations if applicable. Ignoring these rules can lead to fines or even legal disputes with your building's management. So after you've checked local laws and regulations, let's talk about calculating costs and potential income. Short-term rentals often promise a higher return than traditional leases, but they come with their own set of costs. So Airbnb fees, expect 3 to 5% service fees deducted from each booking. In regards to taxes, you have the short-stay levy, which I've just mentioned, but you've also got just your normal taxes that you'll have to deal with that you can talk to your accountant about on the income or taken from the income that you do earn on the property. So the other thing to think about when you're calculating your costs and potential income is to consider property management services. They often take about 10 to 20% of your income as well. That's if you don't manage it by yourself. There's also cleaning and maintenance. So regular professional cleaning between guests is essential. Remember that you have to stock up on toilet paper and different things, soaps and candles and different parts of the house that may need topping up as they're used by the people tenanting the property. Additionally, frequent tenant turnover can lead to quicker wear and tear. Utilities and amenities is another one. So you're responsible for utilities like electricity, water and internet, which may be heavily used. So tools like AirDNA can help estimate your potential occupancy rate, nightly rates and expected returns, giving you a clearer picture of your property's income potential. So that's calculating costs and potential income. The third thing is preparing your property for guests. So to stand out on platforms like Airbnb, your property needs to really shine. So a few of the key points here are furnishings. So you have to opt for durable, easy to clean furniture. Guests expect high quality bedding, towels, and a fully equipped kitchen. The other thing is amenities, so providing extras like high-speed Wi-Fi, a coffee machine, a nice TV, and streaming services. So you have to also ensure safety essentials like smoke detectors and fire extinguishers are in place. Another thing is to make your property really pop online is professional photography is an essential. So listings with professional photos tend to perform much better. High quality images showcase your property's best features and attract more bookings. So the fourth thing to consider is managing the time commitment. Running an Airbnb can feel like running a small business. Guest communication, check-ins and property upkeep require significant time and effort. So there are really two ways to consider your time commitment, whether you're self-managing or you're hiring some sort of property management service to do it for you. So self-management, if you have the time, you can handle these tasks yourself, but be prepared for the demands of guest queries, emergency maintenance, and frequent cleaning. The other thing is with property management services. So hiring a manager can simplify the process, but typically costs 10 to 20% of your rental income. So to reduce your involvement, consider self-check-in solutions like keyless entry systems or lockboxes, which offer guests flexibility while minimizing your workload. So the other thing to consider in more depth is your tax implications. So I've mentioned that short-stay levy, but also on your short-term rental income, it is subject to standard income tax. However, many hosting expenses can be deducted, including cleaning services, property insurance, maintenance and repairs, and utility costs. So to ensure you minimise deductions and comply with tax laws, consult with a qualified tax advisor who understands the nuances of short-stay income and deductions. And the final thing to consider is the broader impact on the housing market. So the introduction of the short-stay levy reflects growing concerns about the impact of Airbnb on long-term housing supply. According to recent data, Victoria has over 63,000 short-stay properties, with many concentrated in Melbourne and regional tourist hotspots. So there is an impact on rental supply. So critics argue that the rise of short-stay rentals has reduced the availability of long-term rental properties, contributing to Victoria's housing crisis. The government's response was to introduce a short-stay levy. The state government hopes to incentivise property owners to return homes to the long-term rental market. So for investors, it's important to consider how these broader market dynamics might affect property values and rental demand in the coming years on your short-stay property. That wraps up the essentials of running a successful short-stay rental, from navigating Victoria's new 7.5% levy to managing costs and guest expectations. While platforms like Airbnb offer a lucrative opportunity, they also come with challenges, especially in light of changing regulations and market pressures. Alright, that ends another episode of Property Ponderings. I hope today's discussion has given you some valuable insights into that short-term, short-stay rental market in Victoria. If you have questions about anything we've covered or want tailored advice on buying or renovating, feel free to contact me 0400 122 081, or you can contact me at craig@nicholbioadvisory.com.au. And if you have a topic you'd like me to cover in a future episode, don't hesitate to reach out. Chat again soon. Provided in this podcast for general information purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal or professional advice. I'll be able to provide accurate and up-to-date information. Every property transaction and investment is unique and should seek the advice of a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. The opinions expressed in this podcast are our own and are not a substitute for tailored advice from a financial advisor or a real estate professional. We encourage you to consult with a qualified expert who can address your specific needs and circumstances.